What is going on, everybody? I am Rob Westerman, the third of GBP Daily, and thank you for tuning in to the Rob Westerman Show. You can find me all over the social sphere at GBP Daily. Shoot me a follow. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would greatly appreciate that. Hit me up in the DMs. I am always available to talk Packers anytime, any day, just like my man Shane in the house. Go Pack, baby. Let's go. My man E-Dog. Hello, Rob. How you doing today? I'm doing great. I am doing fantastic. It is Friday, January 9th. We are getting there. We are getting there. 30-ish hours away from playoff football at Soldier Field against our rivals in the Bears. Probably the most excited that I've been about a playoff matchup in quite some time. Winning this game obviously means more than just advancing to the divisional round to face Seattle. The new era Bears and Ben Johnson, the number one overall pick, and Caleb Williams. We could start this era off for them by sending them packing in their own house, ending their season. If we don't, we will head into the offseason looking up at the Bears, wondering how we'll be able to surpass them next year, as they will be, if they win, the defending NFC North champs, a team who knocked us out of the playoffs. So, stating the obvious here, but we have got to step up and take care of business tomorrow night. We have the better quarterback. We have the better coach. We have the better running back. We have the better defense. There are no excuses tomorrow night on why we shouldn't win this game. How's everybody feeling? What is the vibe? Can you drop your score predictions in the chat for me? Let's get a little ticker going here. There we go. How is everybody doing? Anybody planning on going to the game tomorrow night? Got anybody in the house that will be in the house for Bears Packers tomorrow? If you are planning or maybe thinking of going to the game tomorrow night and you do not have tickets, do not buy your tickets anywhere else other than TickPick. They guarantee the cheapest Packers tickets on the markets, and if you find cheaper tickets elsewhere, they will refund you your money 110% of your money back. Same tickets as everybody else, and TickPick is the cheapest every single time. Use the code Packers22 for an extra $22 off the already cheapest tickets on the market. Shout out to TickPick. Appreciate their partnership with myself. They are the best in the biz. The chat is firing off. We've got Erica 30-14. That would be lovely. I need it. Nate Smith in the house, 31-21. My man Shane, 35-28 in a shootout. I could see it being a shootout. That is for sure. Let's hop into the comment section here, shall we? And as always, if you want to be a part of the show, give me a call on the Nicolet Law hotline, 319-242-2332, the Midwest personal injury law firm that actually shows up when you need them. If you've been hurt in a crash, fall, or another accident, the last thing you want to deal with is the insurance companies and paperwork. Nicolet Law takes it off your plate so you can focus on healing up. They walk you through your options, they handle the insurance companies, and fight to get you what is fair. No upfront fees, no guesswork, just local attorneys who have your back. Call 1-800-NICOLET or visit nicolet.com. What do we got going on, my man E-Dog? I'm pretty nervous. I know the Pack are well rested and prepared. I have a ton of confidence, but I am just really nervous for some reason. I don't want to see the Pack shoot themselves in the foot. Yeah, E-Dog, we've been famous for doing that this year, right? It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, especially in the red zone. Our red zone offense has been horrid for the majority of this season, and you never know. I don't know if you saw my post the other day, but Nathaniel Hackett was at Packers practice on Wednesday. So maybe he is our savior as far as the red zone offense goes. hopefully he instilled a couple tips from his years a few years back when him and Raj were in town, when we were calling it the Gold Zone, right? Everybody remember that? But yeah, we can't be shooting ourselves in the foot. No pre-snap penalties, none of that. We gotta be shored up and ready to go. So surprisingly, I am not nervous one bit. I'm sure I'll start to get a little nervous tomorrow night, I'm sure, but I'm sitting pretty right now. I'm feeling pretty confident. I just think and I know that we are the better team, but it'll show tomorrow night whether that is true or not. So thank you, E-Dog. Appreciate you as always. What else we got? Ryan, shout out to John Eric Sullivan. You think he'll poach Jeff Hafley? Yes, Ryan, congrats to John, the former Packers VP of Player Personnel. He was just hired as the new GM for the Dolphins. So I'm sure he'll have plenty of interest in Hafley for sure. But what he might be more interested in is watching to see what happens with Matt LaFleur. Andy Herman tweeted this earlier, kind of got me thinking. But if for some reason, if Matt becomes available, I'm sure John Eric Sullivan would hire him in a heartbeat. So as would every other team, I think that's in need of a head coach. So, which is kind of why I think the topic of conversation about Matt and his job security is kind of ridiculous, because I don't think Matt is going anywhere. I think he'll be in Green Bay for the foreseeable future. I hope he'll be in Green Bay for the foreseeable future. So we'll see. Matt's last year of his coaching contract is next year. Report came out earlier by Tom Silverstein, I believe, saying that the Packers are probably going to have to offer him somewhere in the range of 12 to 15 million per year. And that's kind of right up there, among the Nick Sirianni's, the Andy Reid type of contracts. So yeah, we'll see if that is going to be the case and if Matt is going to accept it. Hopefully there won't be any stagnant drama. I'm sure there will be, but hopefully it'll go smoothly. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate your comment as always. Antonio, do you think we need to get rid of Rich Bisaccia? Absolutely. He is the highest paid special teams coordinator in the league, and we have had a consistently terrible special teams unit. It doesn't all fall on him, but hey, the buck stops with him, right? As any coach would tell you. And the special teams unit has not been good during his tenure. It hasn't been good in the last decade or so. So, yeah, I think Bisaccia's got to go. That is my opinion. He is also the assistant head coach. So I do think that he is thought of highly and more highly than the narrative that us Packer fans see, at least within the front office. He provides more to that staff than I think special teams coordinator, obviously with being labeled the assistant head coach. So we'll see, though. I do think he needs to go, Antonio. And yes, you say you agree he needs to go. We'll see. If we go on a heater, win the Super Bowl, and special teams somehow balls out during that run, then maybe we'll change our minds. But at this point in time, yeah, I think he's a goner. We'll see if the Packers think so too. Thank you, Antonio. Appreciate you as always for hopping in. What else we got? Trey, are you heading to the game tomorrow? Trey, I am not. No, I thought about it for a hot second, and then it was just like, you know what? I am not feeling like going to Soldier Field. Even if the Packers win, that'd be a great game to be at. I just don't, if I want to put the time and effort and money into going to a game, I want to be at Lambeau. I've kind of lost any sort of inkling to go to any away games unless it's, convenient, right? Say I'm out in Arizona for a vacation or Florida or something, and they're playing in those states while I'm there. Sure, I'll try and hit up, the Packers game, but I would much rather spend the resources and time in going to Lambeau as opposed to Soldier Field. So, and I also don't mind watching from home. I always enjoy watching them from home. Got Got the fam, we got the pops over, cooking up some good food as always, right? I don't mind watching from home one bit. That way, after the game, I always watch the pressers and put out a bunch of content and that kind of stuff. I enjoy watching the games from home. That is for sure. Lambeau, though, no other place in the world that I would rather be than Lambeau Field on game day, and that is a fact. Thank you, Trey. Appreciate you. What else we got? Lisa, I'm thinking a big game out of Luke Musgrave tomorrow. Lisa, that is a poll. I feel you, though. I did make a bold prediction earlier before the season started, saying that Luke Musgrave would have 8 or more touchdowns this year. And yeah, let's just say I was obviously completely wrong with that one. At the time, I was just trying to be a little optimistic, right? I was hoping that he'd finally break out, but that was not the case, unfortunately. So, holy cow. Now, I'm not saying that he won't tomorrow, or I don't think he will. I think that'd be sweet if Luke Musgrave had himself a game. But something in my gut is telling me that Jaden Reed is due for his moment, and hopefully that comes to fruition tomorrow night. So, thank you, Lisa. Antonio, score prediction for me is 31-17 Pack. I think people are forgetting how dominant Josh Jacobs is when healthy. Antonio, I am one of those guys. I talked about it yesterday in the show, this very thing about I am guilty of forgetting just how good Josh is when he is full health or close to fully healthy, right? Man, he has carried us, in a bunch of games. And basically every game that he's healthy, he's had a big part into, leading us to a win. And yeah, he says he's felt great. I hope tomorrow he has a massive game, and I think he will, because I think he's ready to truck some fools, and I can't wait to watch it. So thank you, Antonio. Shane, not to be on the negative side, but what do you think the Bears should do to beat us, and how can we counter that? It's a great question, Shane, and not negative at all. It's good to look at things from both sides of the spear, right? Yeah, it's obviously, I think majority of it's going to come from their offensive side. I think that's where we will win or lose the game, is depending on how our defense plays. They can run the ball pretty dang well. Their offensive line is probably one of the best, if not the best group in football. A lot of it's going to depend on our defensive line. So can we get some pressure on Caleb? Can we stop the run, or at least, stop it from taking over the game? Because we've seen a few weeks back when they played the Eagles, they had 250 plus rushing yards between Monangai and Swift. So thinking back to that Ravens game a couple weeks back, I'm having a little bit of nightmare. So Antonio, go back to work, brother. Go Pack. Go. Stay blessed. God bless you, my brother. Thanks for hopping in. Appreciate you. So yeah, Shane, I think that's where the buck lies, right? Is our defense. Can we get some pressure on Caleb Williams? I'm not saying, take over the game and 4 or 5 sacks. Can we keep him in the pocket? Can we get a sack? Can we get some pressures that lead to some, incompletions? Gosh forbid, maybe a turnover? I mean, seriously, what? We haven't had any turnovers all year. We've had what I see earlier. We had 16 points off of our turnovers all year long. So yeah, it's going to be very, very apparent, and stopping the run, keeping Caleb Williams in the pocket, and come on, can we get a turnover? That'd be nice. So thank you, Shane. Appreciate you, my man. Nate in the house. Will McKinney squeeze one this week? He has been so close. I hope so. He's dropped a couple, hasn't he? Packers offense will move the ball with ease. Got to get 6, not 3 in the red zone. If we do, we win. Defense should do enough. Yeah, that's also kind of where it lies, I think, too. I kind of forgot about that. Red zone offense. If we didn't start that game off against the Broncos, hitting 2 straight field goals, we probably would have won that game regardless of who got hurt in the second half. But instead, we're kicking field goals inside the 10-yard line, and it came back to bite us. It almost always comes back to bite you. Need I remind you of the 2014 NFC title game? Yeah, enough said with that one, right, Nate? So appreciate you, Nate. Hopefully McKinney can squeeze one, indeed. Brent, honest opinion on Caleb Williams. Brent, I think he is a good quarterback. I'll be honest. I haven't watched a ton of Bears games this year outside of, when we played them, obviously, and then maybe a few primetime games, including most recently the 49er game. But yeah, he's their guy, right, for the future. Still super young, so not as consistent as you'd like him to be. Seems to make these insane throws. And then every once in a while, he'll, just completely miss a wide open guy. So I think the underrated part of his game, though, is running it. Anytime he gets outside the pocket, we all know this, whether he tucks it and goes or whether he makes a throw on the run, he can be dangerous. So got to keep him in the pocket because we got burnt a few times during our games on off-script plays made by him. So, yeah, he's good, though, for sure. All right, guys, that is going to do it for me today. Thank you again for tuning in. Always, always, always love talking Packers with you guys. If you are watching right now, could you do me a huge favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel? The link to my YouTube is in the description, in my bio on Instagram. I'm talking to you, Nate. I'm talking to you, Shane. Talking to you, Amon. You guys do me a big solid and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate you. Any sort of interaction helps myself and helps the page. I will be back and at it to get again tomorrow. Thank you again for tuning in. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy tomorrow. And I will catch you guys later. Thank you.